Okay.
Yeah, been better. But you got to bounce back. Yeah. How are you? Good.
Okay, Coach, just kind of reflecting on Iowa State game. I know that was tough last 2 or 3 minutes. Just what was your major takeaway when you go back and review that on film?
Well, we have to be more efficient. I thought we have to take care of the ball better. 22 turnovers is not representative of what we've done most of this year, and you give them credit for their defensive intensity. And then I thought we had some good looks down the stretch. I looked back at the film multiple times. I thought we had some good opportunities, and that's all you can ask for is to get against a team like theirs. Good looks are hard to come by, and coming down the stretch, we had our looks. So we have to capitalize in those situations, and unfortunately, we didn't.
Johnny, you guys get to play Houston for a second time. How much of a benefit is that to play a team a second time, or after maybe a couple weeks? And what can you learn from it? And what can you guys take from that?
Well, definitely. The old round robin style of playing everybody twice, I think, is always great. You have a chance to, feel your opponent out a little bit, see where they are right now, and then move on. And so for us, we've seen them play, of course, and studying them in preparation. They're a terrific team. They're number one team in the nation, and there's a reason why. They defend at a high level, and they're very, very talented. They have guys like Shed on the perimeter, who's a winner. He's been a winner ever since he's been in that program, making plays. Kraj really stepped up for him lately as well. And Roberts down low has been terrific. He's hard to guard down there. So they have some really good pieces, and they're playing some of their best basketball right now.
So many opposing coaches have come into this building this season and said how impressed they've been with the atmosphere, the crowds here. Number one team in the country coming in. What kind of crowd do you expect this Wednesday?
I'm expecting to be a sellout crowd. We need everyone. We need everyone to be here for this game. It's senior night for our guys. Very important that we come out and support all the players that have come through this program and has worked really hard for us. So I'm hoping that everyone can come out, have a sellout crowd. Everybody's bring great energy and enthusiasm to this building.
Coach, you're facing the top team in the country coming up. Obviously, you've talked about that a little bit already, but does it make it more challenging that they're familiar with you over and above being a top-ranked team?
Absolutely. There's definitely familiarity. They've been a tough team. I mean, they're a tough team, of course, in the American. They're a tough team in the Big 12, as you can see. So we understand that because we faced them enough times to realize how competitive they are and how good they are. And so, we just need to make sure we prepare properly. I thought the game there was a hard-fought game. I thought both teams were very defensive-minded. I believe, 57-45 or something. So a very low-scoring game. We had some opportunities in that game that we didn't, complete. And to their credit, there's a reason why. They make it very difficult for you in every possession. So we have to find ways to get better, better shot opportunities, for us to be successful.
What strides have your team taken since that first meeting at Houston that give you confidence about this return matchup on Wednesday?
Well, one for us, we're going to go out there and just continue to fight our fight, which is play our style of play, which is, get after it defensively. We want to play in the full court, want to get out in transition. That's what we're looking to do. I mean, we're not changing for any certain opponent. We think we're at our best when we play in a wide open game. Our guys bring a lot of energy on the court defensively, and that usually translates to some offense for us. So we're going to continue to try to do those things that we've always tried to do, and our guys understand what those are. And then we hang our hat on it. We hang our hat on getting stops. We hang our hat on getting out in transition. In the half court, we want to make sure we just don't settle for, perimeter shots. We want to make sure we play, understanding that, we don't want to settle for all jump shots. We want to mix it with getting to the basket.
You've had so many big-time opportunities at home in this Big 12 schedule, but, a lot of top 25 teams. But this is number one.
Yeah.
And, what's the guys' mindset about that? This is different.
Oh, they understand it's number one. I mean, they know they're the number one team in the nation. They know they're the leading team in our conference, and they should know those things. And I'm sure they, like most competitors, I'm sure they're very excited about an opportunity to compete against a team that's ranked number one in the nation. How often do you have a chance to do that? And two, you're playing against a team that's number one in your conference too. And so the team that's, leading, the race for the conference championship. So there's a lot of, wonderful things in that with regards for our players to be motivated, excited about. But the main thing, like I've tried to explain to our team, and you're absolutely right about what you said, though, is, we're looking at just trying to go 1-0. We're trying to find a way to win this game. We understand who they are and what they represent. But it's about us at the end of the day. It's about us fighting our fight and getting lost in the fight that we have as a team.
Following Saturday's game, the players talked about the physicality that Iowa State brought, and you saw that with Houston as well. Is there anything more you can do? They said they prepared for it, but it was different when they got into it. How do you amp that up in practice or simulate that in any different way?
Well, your practices have to be very intense. Your practice have to be physical, and that's the best way you can do to prepare for systems like that. But the thing is that you can. It's what they do every day. That's how their system is designed. So they're accustomed to playing that way. Our system's a little different from theirs. We're more of a pressing out in the full court, open court system. And so there's going to be an adjustment when you play teams that are that physical, just strictly in the half court. And so for us, having faced, Iowa State, who's very physical recently on Saturday, and now come back and face Houston, I mean, it's a brawl. 2 games of that caliber against those 2 teams, their 2 defenses is amazing for our guys. I think it'll help our guys grow, from the experience they had versus Iowa State moving forward into the Houston game. I think we'll grow from having both of those games as we move forward, to finish out conference play.
How important is it to, reach the postseason in this first Big 12 season? I don't know what would happen if you beat Houston in the net ranking in terms of the NCAA at large, but you can, help your seeding for the Big 12 tournament. But, the NIT is an attainable goal with the new rules in place. UCF's definitely in the mix there. How important would that be in a season where not many people expected much of UCF basketball?
Well, it's very important. I always say it's very important not to just, you want to, show that you belong. I think showing you belong is by winning, and then by getting in postseason, that's how you show you belong. And so we have work to do, and we realize that our players are competing every day. They're preparing for that. We have a lot to play for this season. Of course, coming up with Houston and then finishing up, conference play. But then we have our conference tournament. Our guys understand the opportunities that are in front of them, and we just need to, take advantage of them.
Coach, you mentioned it briefly. Next game is senior night for the guys on the team. And what is that feeling to you, though, as a coach on a more personal level, knowing that you're coaching these guys in their last year at a collegiate level?
For me, it's always tough. I mean, it's different in this day and age because you have so many new players, but it's still tough. They become like my own children to me. That's how I feel about these young men. So, they're leaving now and they're starting another part of their journey, after they leave and graduate. I'm going to be rooting for their success no matter what they do, and I'll always be a resource for them for the rest of their life. But it's hard. You go to practice every day. You're in film sessions. You travel on the road together. And so I'm just really proud of them. I'm always proud of their work ethic. I'm always so proud they represent themselves in our community here in Orlando and at UCF. So, but it's always tough for any coach. It's like losing a child that goes off to college or, transitions to something else. That's difficult for us.
We are at the end of the race right now. This is our last home game. And I would like to know what's been your favorite memory of the season? There's any specific memory that you would like to share?
I've had to think about, a favorite memory. I think we're still in the process of trying to make some memories, but we've had some good moments here. I think just probably one of my fondest memories I'll have from this season will be just the support that we've gotten from our community, just the support we've gotten from UCF and our student section. I thought it's been amazing. Like we mentioned it earlier, it's been electric in here, and deservingly so. I thought our guys have given winning efforts every night, and I think the crowd, I think they really have rallied around this group. And so just seeing how amazing it's been and what's possible, here at UCF in addition to Financial Arena has been something that's been very special for me.
Johnny, through your career as a coach and a player, you've played against number 1 teams. You've been a number 1 team yourself. What is the challenge as a coach to, as you talked a little bit about it with the players, was not getting caught up in that number and going against the number 1 team? What's some advice or something you remember that's maybe helped you through those kind of situations?
I think keeping it in perspective. I mean, you're still playing basketball. I mean, the rankings and names on the front of jerseys can affect a lot of people. I think the teams that are successful are the teams that, realize that we're playing their 5 guys versus our 5 guys. Keep it in perspective, meaning that we're going to go out there, execute our game plan to the best of our ability like they're going to do. And, we'll see what happens. But I think sometimes when you make so much of a game like that, you build it up so much for your players, and they build it up so much from people outside talking to them. I think it becomes difficult for them to be successful in it. So I think you got to make sure that you stay balanced with how you prepare for teams of that caliber.
Coach, you've kind
themselves an opportunity to get back in the game, to win the game, and then just can't close it out. But after that, in the bounce back game, what continues to give you confidence that this group will respond in the right way?
Because for the most part, throughout the season, they've responded. So they've been able to regroup after every game. And you're going to have, I mean, you look through this conference, there are a lot of teams who are having to regroup and respond quite a bit. I mean, it's so competitive. And so that's what we've had to do. And our guys have done that now and shown me, consistently that they've been able to respond based on, what's happened in the past game or game or two. So that gives me confidence that they'll bounce back and we'll, have our minds set, firmly on our next opponent and give it maximum effort again.
Do you notice any sort of discouragement, though, when you are having those close losses, or are they good about just kind of shaking it off?
No, we have a saying. We say next play, which going to the next play we can't control what just happened. Like on Saturday, we have to move on. But we have to move on learning the lessons. And so the lessons can be tough. When we're watching film and we're going through it in preparation, we have to be quite frank and candid about what we have to do to get better. And so I'm sure, it's tough for them and it's tough for all of us. But at the end of the day, it's working toward getting better so that the next time we step foot on the court, we're more improved than we were the last time we went out there.
And you said senior night, maybe a little bit different for some players these days with the transfer portal and everything, but 1986,
oh my
your
gosh,
senior
it's a long
day
time.
at Duke, they were #1 in the country. Looked like that was the North Carolina game. What do you remember about your senior day?
We won. I always tell our seniors the one thing, and I tell all our players, for senior night is the one game you're going to remember. There are not a lot of games you're going to remember. Of course, the special moments. That's one you're going to always remember. Everyone will always remember their senior night game for the rest of their life. And so that's why for the seniors it's very important that you go out the right way, because you're going to have that memory regardless. It's going to be etched in you for the rest of your life. So you wanted to make sure that you go out there and have no regrets about how you perform.
You talk about lessons learned at this point in the season with so many games that are a couple possession games. What do you hope your players have learned about playing on the margins there, that just a couple different things go your way, they're on the right side of those?
Absolutely. I mean, I can look back at games, and as a coach, it's always tough, to look back like that. But just 1-2 possession games, just finishing games, like you said earlier, closing games, closing them out, the importance of making sure you execute, very well down the stretch of those games, whether it's something you did defensively, something you did offensively, you've got to execute at the highest level. You have to be at your best in that last 4 minutes. And we've had a number of opportunities, and we really have not quite been at our best. We've won some games, of course, so we've been, good, but, we had opportunities to be even better.
Why do you think that's so? What are you frustrated about? You've used the word composure throughout.
Yeah.
You look at it on Saturday's game, you're right there, and then they go on a run and you make some mistakes that cost you a game.
Exactly. It just comes down to composure to me. I think, I've said that most of the season because of that, and I've seen us in those situations just staying calm, have some composure, understanding what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to do down the stretch, and just executing it. And then, like I said, Saturday, I thought we did a lot of those things. I just think that we didn't make shots. I look back on that. I mean, we missed three wide open shots that from our best shooters, and all of a sudden that complexity of that game changes coming down the last 2 minutes of the game. So, in that one, we turned it over, but it was after we've had amazing opportunities to knock down shots. And then we started pressing as the game kind of went on and got down by 2 possessions. Then we started trying to force some plays. But we had opportunities. And against, I think, a very well-coached team, a really good team, our guys should believe and know that they can be successful because they've been right there in a lot of these games. Like you said, we just have to close with better composure. And whether that's, like I said, a defensive stop, whether that's a rebound offensively or defensively, or a made shot, we have to come up and make those plays at that time.
Coach, piggybacking off of that last question, throughout the whole Big 12 season, it was close game after close game with all these competitive teams. But playing #1, but you've played a lot of other ranked teams, and you've beat a lot of other ranked teams. How much of a helpful reminder is it to you that that these, and for your players, that these games are winnable?
No, absolutely. That's very important. You don't want to go in any contest, and I've never coached any game in my life or played any game in my life that I went into and didn't think we could win. I'm just not a believer in that. And our guys aren't believers in that. That's the one thing. They have a great competitive spirit. So I know that they're going in every time they lace them up, they feel they can win the game. And so having those wins that you just mentioned earlier just confirm some of that for them. But they're going to go out there regardless if they've won the game or not against those ranked teams, and they're going to go out there with a belief that they can win. And whoever beats us is going to have to earn it through 40 minutes. And I think you've seen that throughout this year. Everyone that's beat us for the most part, they've had to earn that game because our guys have come out with a commitment to win every single night.
As you look to continue to build this program, how important has this season been in that regard? The fact you've been competitive, you've won big games, there's been great home environments as you talk to donors and recruits and guys that are going to be part of these future teams that hopefully will help you get to the top of the Big 12. How important has this first Big 12 season been in that regard?
It's been hugely important to show that we can be competitive in this conference so that our community here at Orlando, UCF, and surrounding areas know that if you come here, that you can compete, against the teams that we're going to compete in this league. Because if they don't feel they can compete, then they have options to look at other places. Now that they know that we can compete, I think it just confirms to them in their consideration of our program that is someone that's viable because we can compete. And everyone wants to be a part of a team that can win. No one wants to go to a place and don't think they have a chance to be successful at whatever conference that is. So I think that's been very helpful for us this year in our community.
And Johnny, final one for you. Being a former member of the American with Houston, I mean, you've seen this program along the years. Do you still get a sense that this program is somehow underappreciated nationally? I mean, they're always in the top 10, it seems, and they're always making deep runs, but they still have this sense of underappreciation nationally, it seems. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I do. I still feel they feel like they're a little bit of an underdog syndrome on them when they're an elite basketball team and have been for a while. They've kind of flown under the radar. We know them, as you mentioned, because we're in the same conference. Great coach, like I said, terrific talent. And those guys play for one thing. They play for each other. You see it every single time they step on the court. So, no, absolutely. And but I think, after this year, I think that will change based on kind of what they're doing now. I think people will start to really recognize, like, wait a minute, this is one of the elite programs, nationwide and has been. Thank you, guys.
All right. Omar, this is going to be your senior night. I know this has just been your first year here, but what do you think? What will your emotions be maybe before the game when they do this ceremony? What will senior night be like for you?
Just enjoy the moment. At that time, we're going to be up there, but once the ball is tipped, then it's back to focus on the team that we're about to play.
And that team is Houston. You've already seen them this year. Thoughts on what they present? It's kind of similar to Iowa State in the sense that they're really good defensively.
Great defensive team. Just looking back on last time we played them, the positive that we could take from that game is we kept them under 50 points, which is good. But just our offense end, we struggled, so we just got to come out and just be prepared, be ready to play defense like we did last time, but extra effort on the defensive side just because we can't depend on offense all the time. But if we could just get a great start on offense, then it would be good. That would be a plus.
Really quickly, going back to senior night, Coach mentioned that this is a game that you will always remember. When you're older, it's like you always remember your senior game. Is that going to push you to play a little bit more harder, knowing that it will forever be in your mind?
Definitely, because, that's my last time stepping on the home court, so I feel like just leaving my legacy on the UCF court, that's something that's a big thing for me. But, if we come out to win, that would be something positive. I know UCF hasn't beat Houston in a couple seasons, so it would be a good win to have.
What has your time at UCF meant to you?
It meant something really big to me just because I'm a native of the area. I'm from Kissimmee, which is down the street. So just coming back home and playing in front of my friends and family, more of my friends and family get to come to the game. So it's good for them just to experience that. Some of them is the first time going to a college game. So it's just, a good moment. And then after the game, seeing them taking pictures with my friends and the fans and stuff like that, it's just a proud moment for me.
What do you hope fans will remember you for?
Just my tenacity that I have on the court and just, my love for the game and, I'm a respectful guy. So when I come out, I always come out, try to talk to the people out there, the kids and stuff like that. Just try to show them, just give them a little thing about who I am.
I know there's still memories to be made this season. Like winning on Wednesday would be a special one, I know. But up to this point, what have been your favorite memories of this season at UCF?
My favorite memory, I feel like something that's just being able to, when we went to the Italy trip, my first time overseas, and then I just got here, so it's just a whole bunch of 10 new guys just learn each other. It was just a good experience because, I mean, I already know them, went out the country, went to somewhere to play people out the country. So I think that's my most memorable moment.
Omar, you guys have had wins over ranked teams before, obviously, this season. What would it mean to beat a team, Houston, #1 team in the country? How would that kind of cement what you guys have been trying to do this year and UCF's place in the Big 12?
It's something really big, but I feel like the main, like, just beating Houston is just beating them is a win we need. So we need all these next upcoming wins. So just beating Houston, I feel like that would just be a spark to keep on winning.
Speaking of Houston, you guys played them about a month ago at Houston. What do you remember about that matchup and playing? What will it take to kind of get over the hump? Because you just played another really good defensive team the other night in Iowa State as well.
Something I remember for that game, they were definitely aggressive. This game, we have to be the aggressor and play aggressive for the full 40, and then we can't back down, and we have to use all our guys and just keep the same tenacity the whole game and try to come out with a strong offensive start. And if we don't come out with a strong offensive start, then on defense we just got to go extra hard.
When you say going extra hard on defense, do you mean get more physical, get your spots better? What needs to be executed against this #1 team?
I mean, the game is not more than just physical. It's just being smart, try to keep our hands up without fouling, walling up, just little things like that. 50-50 balls, we got to get it to. Houston, they go for all 50-50 balls, but we have to be the ones first to the ground, stuff like that.
I mean, I know you're focused game to game, but the fact that you guys have been so competitive this first season in the Big 12 when, outside people didn't think this team would be, how important is it for you guys to finish strong and make the postseason, whether it's NCAA tournament, if you get hot, the NIT is very attainable right now. How important would that be to make the postseason in UCF's first Big 12 season?
It's very important because, they picked us last, but we still was aiming for the top. And I feel like these next couple games, we just got to come out hard and get these wins. And this, like I said, this is my last year, so just leaving the legacy of UCF, the first year of us being in the Big 12.
Omar, as a local guy from Kissimmee, to play on a UCF team that has beaten Kansas here, that gets to host the #1 team in the country this Wednesday, can you just put that into words, what this whole experience has been like, especially from someone who has been who is a local?
It's something that's very important to me. Just like I said, some of my friends, this is their first time coming to college games. So like some of my friends, when they came to the Kansas game, that was just like they just felt like that was the best atmosphere they probably ever been in. And it's just a good experience just to take in and just the stuff I see, just bring it out to other people and show them like what it is as a native kid playing at UCF.
Do you feel like that chip of being picked last before the season started just motivated you guys that much more to go out and win some of these games that nobody gave you a chance at winning?
Yeah, it definitely motivated us more, and it just made us go like just want to be more together collectively as a team, and it's us versus them because everybody picked us last.
All set?
Appreciate it. Thank you, Omar.
I appreciate it.
Darius, I mean, it's a big opportunity on Wednesday night. #1 team in the country, obviously very familiar with Houston, not just this season, but in previous seasons here. How are you looking forward to that game, and what will it take to win on Wednesday?
I'm looking forward to it because, like I said, it's another opportunity for us to be able to make a statement and prove to people, turn some heads. It's our senior night, so I feel like we got to be the most together team, and we got to play as hard as we can. It's our seniors' last time playing on this court, and I feel like it would be very big and a memorable moment for them to be able to beat the #1 team in the country on our home floor. And I feel like it will give us some momentum to show that we belong and just give it the extra boost of confidence that we need to go into the tournament and travel on the road.
CJ Kelly is one of those seniors. What does he mean to you?
CJ Kelly?
CJ Walker. Time warp.
It means a lot for me. CJ's been like a big brother to me ever since I got here. Just showing me the ropes, showing me the things the coach wants done around here. It would mean a lot for me, especially for him to be able to go out and compete and come out with the win on Wednesday on senior night, especially him being from Sanford, which is down the street as well, so as well as Omar.
How much of a benefit does it for you guys to have played Houston already, and you played against a tough defensive team in Iowa State on Saturday? How much of those things kind of maybe benefit you guys going into this game?
I think it benefits us a lot because, most people have to, adjust their defenses or offenses to certain teams that they're playing. But, these two teams are very similar, so it's not much of an adjustment that we have to make.
Darius, I mean, as we this is like in the final part of the season, final week, I guess, before conference play, just kind of reflect on this first Big 12 season. You know, you listen to other questions, you know how, outside media, national perception, everyone expected UCF to struggle this year. You guys clearly have been competitive. You've won, multiple top 25 games. Just kind of reflect on this year and what it's meant to kind of guide UCF into this first Big 12 season.
This season it was a movie. It was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of trials and tribulations. But I feel like we turned a lot of heads this year. We did a lot of things that were unexpected. Within the team, we felt like a lot of those losses that we had, we should have won. Which is a lot of little things that we're working on to close out the rest of the season. But it's been being a part of this team has been great. A bunch of new guys coming together so fast. It's huge for us and for the program.
Coach said that one of his favorite memories of the season is just all the fan support that you guys have had, sold out arenas, crowd going crazy. What has that meant to you and the team to have that support behind you guys? Especially the first team in the Big 12.
It means a lot, being the first team in the Big 12, it's probably a lot of pressure on the guys. So, we just want to go out and compete at the highest level every night. But the fans have been amazing. I hope that we'll be able to build off of this. I hope that they just don't think that we're just a football school. And I hope we start transforming the student body into a basketball school and a basketball mindset, because I think we can be that being in Orlando. But the fans have been great this year, showing up and showing support at all the games.
I'm sorry if my question is maybe out of topic, but I noticed that you listen to music while you're warming up. You always have your headphones on, and I would like to know what kind of music do you listen to? Does that help to your performance during the game?
It just depends on the day. Some days I may listen to gospel, some days I may listen to hip hop. So it really just depends, honestly, how I'm feeling.
When you were reflecting back on the season, you talked about this team having the feeling that a lot of the losses you should have won. When you look back and now you're going to take on the number 1 team, what is the difference? Why couldn't this team close it out, and what is the lesson you bring into this game?
I just feel like valuing every possession. You can't take plays off. The 50-50 balls you got to get to, making free throws, making sure you're boxing out, getting those last possessions. It comes down to all of that, I feel like most people don't really realize how much the little details in the basketball game really matters, but they do. Like last game, we had 22 turnovers, which that was really a loss for us. The past few games before that, we were under 10 turnovers. So I feel like that time we backtracked, and we only lost by 8 points. So.
You've obviously had some great ranked home wins. You beat Kansas and whatnot, and you almost, you fought Iowa State to the end. What is it about your team that, when you get one of these big teams, and this is the number 1 team in the land, obviously, coming into your place, what gives you that confidence, that extra jump, and the extra energy you guys need to compete and possibly come out with a win?
I just feel like the team we have, we're very together, and we all know the opportunities that we have, and we all have the same end goal. Everyone wants to compete for a national championship and be able to play in the postseason. So we all know what it takes. We have a lot of seniors on the team who haven't been able to do that or want to do something special with the team we have now.
Coach has talked about wanting to see this team get better game after game. How is this team better or different than the one we saw on the road at Kansas State to start the season?
I feel like we're a totally different team. Our defense has been top one of the defenses in the country. I feel like a few games ago our defense took a few steps back, but we've been able to get it back on track. But I feel like we're a great team all around. Everyone likes each other. We gel together, and we just play hard for one another. That's why this senior night is so important for these guys, because we're big on togetherness. We're big on one family. A season is a lifetime, as we say. So being able to do something special against the number 1 team in the country here on Wednesday means a lot for me and for the team.
What's the message in the locker room going into these last few games?
Really just going 1-0, just focusing on what we got in front of us. There's still opportunity, and we still have a chance to accomplish all the goals that we want. So really just focusing on each task at hand. So the task right now is Houston, so focusing on going 1-0 with Houston.
Darius, what would it mean for this team to get to the postseason in this first year in the Big 12?
Oh, it would mean a lot. It would definitely be a statement for UCF going forward.